And we are back for the last 9 holes of the 2024 Swedish Open presented by Kastaplast. 7th stop on the DGPT Europe this season. Elite Series, that's going to be an interesting battle. James Proctor in the lead, my name is Maxime Tanghe, and with me, as usual, Elias Luukkonen.
What up, Max? What's up, viewers? Nice to be here once again. Back 9, more scoreable, more birdie opportunities, and hopefully less bogey opportunities for the players. Please like and subscribe if you like our content, and let's get into the back 9. It's gonna be interesting, you know, the weather is perfect now. There was a little bit of rain in the first holes, but nothing of that anymore. It's all about the players and their skill.
You're definitely right with all this. So James 21 down, only Tuominen 19, 8 through 14, crazy, and Ruusunen also. That's pretty tight. They are far into the round, so let's see if James is able to keep the lead.
Yeah, all the strings definitely in our players' hands. They have more holes left, and on this back 9 that means more birdie opportunities. Starting on hole number 10, really short par 4, only 145 meters. Off the tee you really want to throw something straight, either a mid-range or a putter. You don't need a lot of distance, it's all about 85, maybe 90 meters off the tee. And from there, if you make it to the curve, it's all about the touch on the second shot. You see that OB right and OB long. You would love to throw something that lands pretty flat on this green and with a low pace so that you don't skip to that long OB.
Yeah, pretty interesting hole. Your favorite?
I like this hole, it's good for me, and I think it shows a good sense of touch of the players, and that's not touch, that's terrible touch by James Proctor. He's gonna be in a really tough position, even to save a par.
Too many cookies on this tee pad. And Dennis with the forehand, going straight, fading. Oh, and just catching the last 3 available on the line. He's gonna have some gaps on that side.
Yeah, for sure. Even if you're a little bit early left on this hole, it's always gonna be fine. Eetu doing kind of a similar thing, but getting a kick to that's the last year's FPO tee pad. It's exactly 74 meters from that tee pad, so still a very manageable shot.
Yeah, he's gonna be aside of the tee. Hopefully he will have some good footing from there. And this is early, and this is the best shot in the end, result-wise. He's up there. Oh my.
Terrible position. He has to just pitch to the fairway, and that's really not a par position even. I think he has to play for the bogey now.
Yeah, let's see what's possible from here.
He has to try and avoid that OB area on the right, long side, which looks like he has done pretty well. It's not going to be more than 45 meters from there.
Yeah, not able to see anything from the catch cam angle. And Eetu is pretty fine from here. He needs to fade. Yeah, he played it pretty safe, but yeah, ending just outside the circle. He will have a good look for birdie here to go 14 down overall. He really needs to heat up on this back 9 if he wants a good result.
Yeah, for sure. Anything on the back 9 all the way up until hole 17 are very birdieable holes, and that's gonna be a really tough kick. Roland, of course, missing the line a little bit to the right, and that's what happens, you know. Couple of bad kicks or just a single bad kick on this hole, that causes a bogey so quick.
Wow, man, what a line he's taking here. Yeah, really dangerous with the OB long. So many things to think about. Again, Dennis way.
Yeah, and you can see the difference on this hole. Dennis getting the good kick, he's gonna have an easy putt for the birdie, and Roland getting the bad one, having a trickier putt for the par now. As we saw, James, good touch, approaching for the bogey, and Roland, this is very important to stay in the mix for the tournament. And that's a bit too high. Once again, you can see the velocity that he putts with, very hard putting stroke. And Eetu, we have seen similar stuff from him. This time not quite as comfortable though. Very wide straddle for him, and he's gonna have to settle for a par.
And Dennis now really fast and a good bird from a tough spot on the second shot. 2 down, 16 overall, and ties 6th for the moment. And first mistake for James entering the back nine. 20 down, opening the door to the other players.
Yeah, especially we saw Onni Arminen was already 19 under in total, so James, he can't really mess up a lot more if he wants to keep that leading position. Moving on to hole number 11, very birdieable par 3, 89 meters. It really calls for a high turnover backhand shot, either with a slightly understable putter or a slightly understable mid-range. Or, if you feel more comfortable with a forehand, you can shape a forehand through that gap, but that most likely leaves you with a slightly longer putt, you know, between 5 to 10 meters, if you throw it good.
Yeah, interesting short hole, definitely not the easiest. And that's looking wide for Dennis. Yeah, he's crashing in that flat part of the green just before the circle. 12-13 meters uphill. He's pretty comfortable from that range.
And Eetu here, this is a little bit inside, it looks like. Yeah, just turning early but getting barely around / through the trees. I couldn't quite see if he went right side of one of those trees, but nevertheless, great result. And let's see if James can push it a bit further forward before turning right.
That's a good looking shot. Yeah, small cut roll and reaction on a rock. Yeah, really tough green. There's a lot of things on the ground. Roots, stomp rocks.
Another good looking line here. And getting over the rocks, so no cut roll there. Perfect shot. You know, it's a small difference on this hole if you get over those rocks or not, but as you can see in the result, 10 meters of difference.
Yeah, bullseye for both Eetu and Roland. Oh. Stop there. Yeah, he doesn't even care about that.
And James here, pretty big stroke. 11 meters uphill, and that is in the heart. Look at the putting stroke. It's such a great course for him, since there are a lot of these shorter holes, a lot of shorter par 4s, a lot of shorter par 3s, where he can make a great difference in the putting. I believe that's the reason why we see these 4 players in the lead card. All of them are great putters. That makes a huge difference on this course.
Yeah, you need to capitalize on all those opportunities throughout the tournament. 3 birdies, 1 par. Decent from our leaders. And let's move on to one of the easier par 4 on the course. Hole 12.
Yeah, for sure. Even lengthened from last year, being the short tee pad on the right. But still, it's a very easy par 4 for the top level players. Only 175 meters. There is a gap that you have to hit off the tee, but it's pretty wide. And no matter if you land a little bit right on the fairway, center, or a little bit left, you always have a shot to this green. And yeah, all about getting that distance off the tee and just shaping it to the green. It's a hole that all of these players know if they're gonna miss, they will probably lose a stroke.
Yeah, a must-take birdie on this hole 12. Better to push left, and that's late again. Great kick. Back to the center fairway. And he's gonna have the opportunity to attack the basket from there. James now, after the good bounce back. Yeah, very hyzer release. Good flip up. Exactly what you're looking for. Great control.
It's very interesting to see James play, because I feel like all of his shots come out with the same angle. He just manipulates the disc in a different way, you know, having a slightly more understable disc or overstable depending on the shot. And look at this, Roland perfectly on the left side of the fairway too, which is going to open up the angle for the approach.
Yeah, even better results than James. Amazing angle control on this shot for both James and Roland, and that's slightly overcooked, but again, good kick for Dennis. Some tree love, back to the fairway. Yeah, very comfortable on the green. But yeah, not the best performance until now on this round for Dennis throwing wise.
Eetu here, a little bit tight on the right side on the approach, but getting around everything, and that's gonna be no more than 6 meters. Pretty nice shot, especially, you know, after the very errant drive.
Exactly. Late turn on this one. Really like the shape. And good results inside the circle. And that's gonna be the same for Dennis. Even better. Should be cake.
And James, chance to make that lead even bigger. Pushing the left side, this needs to go through, and it does. Very good break there. He's going to be a little bit short, just about 8 meters. But that has proven to be no problem for him in the tournament. Roland here, surprisingly going for a forehand. It's really a straight, even a bit of a left finishing shot, but showing that with a flat forehand you can do the same job.
Yeah, and he did exactly the same yesterday. It was pretty surprising, but it worked for him. Oh, just over the front cage, but able to make it, staying in the basket, 22 down. Yeah, just keeping the pace. And Eetu now, good one. 15 down, back to the top 10. Tied 11.
Yeah, tied 11th is really not a bad position to be in this tournament. The field is super stacked. It's probably one of the, if not the highest level of field in any tournament so far this year in Europe.
Yeah, I'd say so far, because Kõur and the festival are going to be pretty stacked. Everybody's coming over from the States. And let's see. Joe Bucket, Eric Oakley, and Yeoni just slowed the pace down for a bit.
We are here. We are one. We will fight. We will fall. We will prevail. From the fjords of Norway to the shores of Spain, from the fire of Iceland to the hope of Ukraine, 30 countries, one voice. Go Europe!
Moving on to hole number 13, actually one of the trickier holes on the back nine, 112 meters. It's a big hyzer shot, but it's a very specific line that you have to hit. You want to go high in order to move enough left at the very end. Easiest mistake here to do is that you see players pushing too far forward, which means that they either didn't put enough hyzer on it or they left it too low. Ideally it's either a fairway driver or even a distance driver if you want to throw it a bit softer.
Angle and height control on this one. And this is looking pretty nice. Oh, and unfortunately, the catch cam had the end of the flight inside the circle for a turkey, potentially. James now, maybe too low, deep, catching the backside. Oh, good reaction of the tree. He's gonna be just outside.
Yeah, really not a bad shot, but that's exactly what happens on this hole, you know. If you're a little bit too low, you're gonna push that backside. Roland with much more height. Great looking line. I really love this shot. Even a little bit too sharp on the hyzer. That's truly hard to do on this hole.
Yeah, you need to be tight to the right side. It's a bit dangerous with that tree. Yeah, this needs to fade. Yeah, he's gonna have some gaps from down there. Shouldn't be a problem for him. He's even going for it. Let's go. Oh, good line again. Yeah, with a hard footing and trees in the way. Good try.
Let's see Roland here. And once again the cage. I feel like he has hit the basket from all over the place this round.
Now James. Oh yeah. Barely again. 23 down now, 6 on the round. Turkey.
Look at this, just dropping it in on the right side cage. I think he knew he pulled that one a little bit, just leaning it in. But that's what happens when you have that perfect pace on the putt. You can, drop it in. I think that's the reason why James is such a great putter. He really controls the pace and the height of the putter.
Exactly, and just like that, a turkey for Eetu, heating up on the back nine, and now he's back onto the top 10, tied 8th for the moment. And everybody is kind of back on track for the rest of the card. James was pretty decent on the front. The rest of the card is now right on top, or almost, onto hole 14.
Hole 14 back into the birdie game. This is one that you would definitely like to get. It's only 98 meters, though once again a little bit uphill. It's playing a little bit further than that 98. Some low ceiling as well, so you really want to keep your shot near the ground. For most players it's a straight shot, slight finish to the right, ideally with a fairway driver. If you have some more power and you're comfortable with a hard thrown mid-range, you can also do that.
Yeah, straight late turn. That's gonna go through. Good looking shot. Oh, and just catching that late wall, protecting the basket. Yeah, it was going underneath the basket for sure.
Yeah, I feel like it's almost better on this hole to just play left side of that wall, as James, that's a very early looking release, but a great kick. He's gonna be just outside the circle there, with honestly a pretty poor shot.
Yeah, really early out of the hand. And now Roland. Oh, that's even earlier. But as he did yesterday, we had the same feeling of the tee so early with the understable line. Great shot in the end.
Yeah, showing that there's some room on the left side of this hole. Is there this much room though? Looks like there is. What? All of those shots look way too far to the left, but Dennis is just outside the bullseye there.
Yeah, perfectly managed from Dennis. And now James. Thank you. 24. 7 on the round, 4 birdies in a row. That's gonna be tough for anybody to reach him right now. Solo lead would be interesting to have a scoreboard check at some point. After hole 15 we'll have some.
So tough to catch a guy who's seemingly making every putt. On this course, as I said, the putts matter so much, and that's a putt that's gonna matter a lot to Roland's position in the tournament. Tied 8th, could have been a little bit higher, or lower after that putt.
Come on, Eetu. Oh, and same as Roland. Early left side, and that's gonna be a bird for Dennis. Yes, sir. Now 18. What is it? Tied fifth for the moment. I'm pretty interested to see who's in between. Now Eetu with the cleanup. No worries. Let's move on to the tightest hole on the course. Hole 15 incoming.
Yeah, definitely the tightest. For a lot of players, probably the most nerve-wracking hole. As it's only 76 meters, you really have to take a lot of power off this shot. A lot of players are going for a straight to right finishing sidearm. The sidearm, of course, easier to hit the gap since you can keep your eyes on the target all the time. If you have great touch on the backhand, you can also throw a slight backhand turnover.
James stands still. Yeah, same kind of problem as yesterday. Playing pinball in this early forest. Come on, Dennis. Oh, it's in danger with the OB. Yeah, that's gonna be a long range C2 save here. He's deadly from that range. Maybe the same tree as James. Staying short of the tee, and Roland to wrap up.
Early on the right, and I think he hit the last tree on that right side gap, so nobody really clean on this hole. I mean, of course, Dennis had a clean shot, as Eetu has hit pretty much the first branch in front of him. That's likely gonna be a bogey unless he can make a great putt from 20 meters.
Wow. Great touch. Good scramble. That's gonna be an easy par. It should be. He has a pretty special spinny technique from long range. Coming from really down. And Eetu. That's gonna be a bogey. Now Dennis to save the par from C2.
That's it. There you go. Very important par save to keep his score right there at 18 under. Let's take a look at that. A bit more wobble than we are used to seeing from him. I think that helped him there, since it was a little bit on the right side already. I think without the wobble, he might have even missed it completely to the right.
Yeah, you're right. Sliding into the cage. Great save from Dennis to keep the scorecard clean on this back nine. Good save also from James.
It's a tricky hole, you know, even the lead card having some struggles here. This is very close to how the hole was looking in the 20-something card that I was getting to experience in this tournament.
Yeah, chase card heating up. Paul Macbeth, Joe Bucket, and Mauri. They are, in between James and the rest of the lead card. Hole 16.
Yeah, hole 16, a great forehand hole. You would like to throw a straight to slightly overstable forehand here, preferably with a fairway driver. You can also go distance driver, or if you're really powerful, even a mid-range. Some players also going for a straight backhand. I'm interested to see whether James is one of those players. I think in the previous round he went with this very same fairway driver, which is surprising for such a short hole.
That's a good looking line. Oh no. Okay. Bad kick and then a good save from the tree just before the OB line. He's gonna have a long look for the birdie in the end. Wow. advantage lefty on this hole. And you can see why. Going straight, letting the fade do the job at the end of the flight. Inside the circle for another birdie on the back nine for Dennis. Now Roland.
Pretty nice line once again. There's a couple of trees at the end of that left side. I think he was a bit too far even to the left. But you could see both James and Dennis hitting the four last trees on that left side that are really in the way of the perfect sidearm. Or lefty shot, of course.
Yeah, exactly. And a good forehand from Eetu. He's going to be around to get back the stroke. He just lost on hole 15. Good up here. And James now.
Wow, he's just so on from that 12-meter range. It's incredible. I feel like he's not missing the line on any of these putts. I mean, the one on 13, he was a little bit right, but still perfect pace. And once again, not putting any extra power into the disc, just perfectly into the basket.
Wow, looks too easy. Fist bump to the camera. And as we were mentioning, the energy he brings to any card is crazy. He was caddying again during the FPO round, even if it was pouring all morning. The leader of your tournament, giving some hope and good vibes to anybody he can. Good birdie from Dennis. 19 down now, tied 5th. Hey, he's now chasing the chase card, let's say.
Yeah, chasing the chase card, how the tables turn. Dennis has a chance. The chase card has finished at 21 under, so he's looking to get 2 birdies in a row. Starting that on 17, a very gettable birdie, 110 meters, a little bit downhill. You have to throw through a gap. The gap really is at its biggest if you throw an Anheuser release, so that's why we see a lot of players going for a bit of a flex shot. But if you want to throw it dead straight, that's also possible. Just makes the gap a little bit tighter.
Yeah, so now we have 4 strokes between James and the second spot. What do you think would be the game plan for him now?
I think on this hole he's gonna throw very much his normal shot. Just that straight, slight turnover with a mid-range. But you can see he's playing it more to the left side, definitely avoiding the right side OB. And he's putting there. He doesn't really have to run it if he doesn't feel like doing so. But that's a guaranteed par. Perfect game plan for him.
Yeah, and entering hole 18. Maybe one of the scariest fairway on the course. Anything can happen, but is it possible to lose 4 strokes? If he plays it smart, should be manageable.
Yeah, for sure. Though I was caddying earlier today on a card and I saw a 4-stroke swing on that hole, so it's possible yet unlikely. And we're seeing everybody landing a bit more on that left side. Let's see if Roland can keep it right all the way to the basket.
Oh yeah, that's good looking. Stopped by the tree, but he's gonna be around 6-7 meters. Good shot, best of the group. And a huge crowd waiting for the lead card. Focused. Easy layup for Eetu.
I love how invested everybody in the gallery is. Very professional, cheering for all the good shots. And James there with a bit of a miss. He's gonna actually have a comebacker for par now.
Kind of a tester at that point. 7-8 meters. You really need to keep the strokes before 18. And a rare miss, kind of, from Dennis. Deadly from that range today. Yeah, so confident.
He makes it look very easy from that range once again. And Roland here, good birdie. Even making his chances at climbing the leaderboard a little bit better. He's now at solo 7th, but possibly with a good birdie on 18 he might get even higher than that. But Dennis missing that putt kind of takes away the chance for him to get to that tied 2nd place, as you're really not gonna eagle hole 18 unless you have a huge throw in.
Yeah, and a great shot of the tee also. Entering the last hole of the tournament.
Last hole, the most difficult hole on the course, 235 meters. We're going downhill down this path on the drive. You want to keep your drive as far right as possible, trying to get close to the OB line on the right without actually going OB, of course. The further right you are, the better your angle is for the second shot, which you're going uphill into a left to right sloping green. A great place to leave it a little bit low right of the basket, or if you want to park it, just crash it into the left side hillside. Usually you will roll down a little bit to the basket.
And now pressure on James's shoulders. He's the only one controlling the situation. It's just up to him. He needs to avoid huge mistakes on this hole 18, tricky one. Great drive, slightly inside, but he's down there, safe.
Knowing the situation, James, I think he's just going for his normal game plan here with the driver, but he has hit something pretty early. That's not an ideal shot. He needs to keep his head calm because he has a lot of strokes to play with. Still 4 strokes above the 2nd place.
Oh, this needs to fade fast. Hopefully he won't be stuck into that left side. Oh, again. Late. No way. He went through a long way.
Yeah, could be much worse. He's not that far on the right side. He still has a gap to contend with. As James here, look at the use of stability. He's not wanting to go OB right, just missing intentionally rather to the left. And still very much in not a par position, but he can get a bogey from there if he plays it well.
Oh yeah. Hitting the gap. Needs a good reaction stop there. And that's gonna be a green flag for Dennis. He will have a look to go and save the par from 70-80 meters.
And that's a bit inside left. I think Eetu will still have to contend with that Mando tree on the left, which is pretty far down the fairway. As James here, now he just once again has to play it inbounds, try to get down the fairway one shot by one shot, and that's all he needs. Only about 70 meters to go from there.
And you can see huge crowd waiting for the players on hole 18. It was the same last year. A lot of people gathering on that last hole for the MPO lead card to come and join the party. And lots of support for the local hero, Dennis. And that's going to be an amazing controlled approach. 5 meters.
Yeah, Dennis will keep his tied 5th position in the tournament with that, if he can make the putt from 5 meters, of course. And Eetu here trying to scramble. It's a decent shot. He's not going to have much more than 8 meters left from there. Great putt to finish in front of the crowd.
Yeah. To show everybody the skill he has. Lots of potential. He showed it also in Copenhagen a few weeks ago. And great reaction.
He knows it. He knows that he will win this tournament. That will be his first Elite Series victory. What a guy. As you said, always so supportive of everybody on the card. Couldn't really ask for a kinder person to win the tournament.
Exactly. We had the chance to stay with him and to enjoy some moments. Practice round in Ale. yeah, extra content. He's an amazing human, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people are aware of that. Everybody's gonna be happy about this win.
For sure, and that's a good finish from Eetu. Not the round he wanted today, but he's still inside the top 10. A great finish for such a young player, and same thing for Roland. Both of those guys showed their talents in Copenhagen, and now they're showing it again. Some of the best young talents in Europe.
Exactly, with a more stacked field, so they confirm that they can perform at the highest level. And let's enjoy the moment now. James for the first elite win of his career.
The Swedish Open MPO 2024 champion and his first win on the Pro Tour, James Proctor!
Amazing champion. MDG style.
Wow, such a great champion. We even sacrificed our best camera for his autograph.
All right, James Proctor, congratulations. You are the 2024 Swedish Open champion. How does it feel?
Feels amazing. You know, I want to just celebrate with everyone. I want to celebrate with everyone here, with everyone back home. Yeah, I've always wondered what this would feel like, and it's pretty special.
You led the field in birdie percentage. Putter was in flames. Tell us how you felt during the event.
Felt good. You know, that last round, I settled into a groove. I felt pretty comfortable. Missed one C1 that kind of surprised me, but when those C2s started falling, I just tried to give myself opportunities. I said, hit the main gap, throw it somewhere in C2, and just try to knock it down, and I was able to make enough of them.
Yeah, it was a really impressive performance. What's on the horizon for you?
I get an off week. I get to go celebrate in Finland and caddy for Finnish Nationals, and then back to work in Kõur, and then the major back in Finland. So it's going to be busy, but I'm ready for it.
How are you going to celebrate your first Disc Golf Pro Tour win?
I have no idea.
Captain Morgan, baby.
More cookies.
Well, again, congratulations. I hope you have a fun celebration, and best of luck moving forward.
Thank you.
What a great tournament. James, of course, first place. Paul Macbeth, Mauri Wilman and Joey Buckets at second place. Wow, what a tournament. I'm so excited that we have all of these American players in Europe, and that's gonna continue for the next couple of weeks.
Exactly, that's just the start. Kõur is incoming. We have just finished nationals next week before. That's gonna be an amazing stretch with the European Open and the festival in Estonia. Thank you guys for supporting the project, for watching. Such a pleasure to have you. Pleasure to have you here also, Elias. Thank you for that.
Thank you, Max. It was so good to be here, and see you guys next week for the Finnish Nationals.
See you.